Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bellied Up podcast. I'm here with Miles, the You Betcha guy, and special guest comedian Aaron Weber. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm excited. I've been a fan of your guys' stuff for a while. This is cool to be sitting with y'all.
Nice, man. I'm a fan of your stuff, too.
Are you revealing where we are right now?
Yeah. Let's do it. We're at the Red Door.
Red Door Saloon.
I knew there was another word.
The Red Door Saloon, Nashville. This is an important bar for the Nashville comedy community. This is kind of the spot that people go to.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, because there's a big smoking patio. And this is after show. Zany's is down the street. Come over here. Spent many a nights here. I also used to work at Music Road right around the corner, about 2 blocks from here. And after work, we'd walk over and have a beer here. And, the company collapsed around us. So we spent many a night sitting at this bar talking about, what we're going to do for work.
Commiserating.
Yeah.
What was that company?
It was a marketing company that we found out years later was never legally registered as a company.
Oh,
and so
wow.
There's a lot of there were some illegal activities potentially.
Whoa, do you think it was a front?
If it was a front, it wasn't a successful one.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is it's got to be registered.
A front
legally.
stays afloat.
Yeah. right. Well, I'm sorry that didn't work out.
Well, I quit that. Now I've been doing comedy. So
what was like you when you guys started realizing something was going on? What was the moment
when we started getting paid through Venmo? It's usually not a good sign.
And it's just like this is 1/3 of your paycheck. The last 2/3 are coming later.
A lot of IOUs, that kind of stuff.
Gift cards, the whole thing supporting it is just this guy trying to scam people on Facebook, Did you go to Walmart, get $50 gift card?
He shows up to a bank with a napkin and tries to deposit the IOU, and they're like, sir, this isn't going to work.
You know what the weird thing is? I kind of like the guy that did it to us.
Well, that's the whole thing with these guys. They're very charismatic.
Yeah. I'm not as mad at him as I should be, I guess.
Are you still buddies?
No, I haven't. He went MIA. We haven't seen him, heard from him in a while. He owes all of his money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's really, he's out there with a new name, a new family, a new town.
But, if he walked in here today, I'd shake his hand and say, how you doing? How's your family?
Oh, that's good.
I'm not as mad at him as I should be.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had a tax guy tell me, he said, I explained the whole situation to him, and he goes, hey, this guy is not your friend. And I was like, yeah, but he's a good dude, outside of that. So I don't know. I hope he's doing well.
Well, is getting out of that company, is that what, were you doing comedy at that point too?
Well, that was what actually gave me the confidence to quit my job, because I wasn't getting paid for a while there at the end. So, the thinking is, can I survive on just comedy? And then I kind of looked up and I was like, oh, I've been doing that for a while because this job hasn't paid me. So I might as well quit and go full time. That was 2019.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been doing it full time since then.
That's awesome. And you are from here originally?
I moved here in high school. I'm from Alabama originally.
Okay.
Nice.
You guys spend a lot of time in the South, the two of you?
Not really. I don't. Charlie probably's been there a little more than I have.
I've been there doing some shows. I was in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Birmingham.
Was it as much of a culture shock as you thought it would be, or do you think people are pretty much the same?
I think people are the same everywhere, but there are distinct differences in the South. I lived in South Carolina for a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
And they would say, I appreciate you.
I say that all the time.
As opposed to I appreciate it. That's what we say up there, because to say we appreciate you, that's a different level of emotional intimacy.
Yeah,
we're not ready for that.
I mean, that's a lot of commitment.
We appreciate the task you are doing for us. Or we will say it politely, but we cannot for any reason say it. We say, I appreciate you for marriage,
That was actually my vows.
So you never say you appreciate the person.
All right, let's exchange vows. And then I went, appreciate you. And she said, I appreciate you. And he said, you may kiss the bride. And that's how it went. That was the scariest moment of my life.
Yeah.
That was a lot of commitment.
There is a lot of the differences. Obviously, you know, there's the whole bless your heart thing. That's kind of been done. And, but what else, you know, you've been around too. You've been in the Midwest. What do you find that's weird up there that you may not do down here in southern places?
Well, the first thing that strikes you is hearing the accents in the wild is crazy when you've never been there. And like you've only seen it in movies and stuff.
You're telling me.
And then like you see a guy at a gas station and you're like, oh my God, you really talk like that.
It's like that M&M's commercial where the M&M meets Santa. Like, you do exist. They do exist.
Exactly.
And they both faint at the same time.
I did
Great commercial.
I have a big bit about this, but it was the first show I ever did in Wisconsin. It was in a town called Minong, Wisconsin. Have you heard of Minong? Top left
We're
corner.
on the hand.
See, I love that you do that. People don't like that y'all do the hand too. Michigan likes to claim it.
Michigan can get
And the
over
hand
it.
would be top left of your pinky. I mean, borderline
way
Canada.
way up there.
Yeah.
By past Stillwater yet still.
Potentially. Yeah.
He's like, dude, I just drove there.
I haven't looked at a map in a while, but population 528.
Wow.
Small. We did a show at the Minong City Hall. 5% of the town was at the show. It's pretty good.
Really?
But as they were bringing me on stage, they say, hey, by the way, just don't do any jokes about beef jerky. And I was like,
that's my whole set. That's my whole set.
I go, why did you think I was going to talk about beef jerky? You know, forget why I'm not allowed to. Why did you think this would come up? So I was just so blown away by it. It's such a bad set. I was thinking, like, why can't I talk about beef jerky? And I get off stage and I asked the woman and she goes, well, this is the headquarters of Jack Link's Beef Jerky is in Minong, Wisconsin. The whole town works at the factory.
Wow.
I was saying Jack Link could have been at the show. I don't know.
Mr. Link was there. Good
Mr. Link.
God.
Yeah, so they all, and then we got like a Jack Link's like gift bag on the way out, but it was it really messed with my head. I was like, why can't I talk about beef jerky? But the reason I bring that show up is because that was my first time in Wisconsin. And I remember a woman in the back, anytime somebody would start a joke, she would go, uh-oh. And I lost it, dude. I've never heard a human being make that noise in real life. Also, the stuff we're saying is not that crazy. It was wild.
The terrible part is I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
That
before
noise?
too. Yeah. God, we do that, don't we?
It's almost like that aunt at the family thing when like the younger cousin or whatever is about to say a story, like almost like they're humoring you a little bit. And you're like, you're just taking the piss out of anything I'm going to say right now.
Exactly.
So it was a bad show, though, you said?
It was as good as it could be for a town of 500 in the city hall.
And you said 5% of 500.
I haven't done the math exactly, but there may be 30 people.
Okay,
there.
that's pretty
You're
good,
like,
I think.
it's not
That's
bad.
what I was going to say.
But there's a lot of other stuff going on in Minong that night, probably.
Yeah, I mean, they had the Jack Link's party.
Meat raffle.
Meat raffle.
You know what I remember else about that night? I was with Dusty Slay. I was opening for Dusty Slay there. And the next morning, we went to some mom and pop restaurant. Dusty was like, I'm going to get a breakfast sandwich to go and we'll hit the road, right? So we walk in. It's like a 12-year-old working the cash. He's the cashier.
Yeah.
No adults in the building. It's just a 12-year-old kid.
He's
And
also the mayor.
So Dusty goes, can I get an egg sandwich? And please make sure it's not runny. I'm going to try to eat this in the car. So just like a not runny egg sandwich. And the kid goes, yeah, my dad's working in the kitchen. We're like, okay, great. So about 20 minutes later, the dad comes out and he hands Dusty an egg sandwich. And Dusty opens it up. It's the most runny egg. I mean, it's spilling all over him. And the dad, who just cooked the sandwich, goes, yeah, it's pretty runny, huh? And I was like, aren't you the guy who made it? He's like, yeah. And then we left, and that's all I remember about that place.
So he was trying to big dick you with a runny egg sandwich?
Or the kid just thought, like, make it as runny as possible.
Something got lost in translation there. I mean, it was like a game of telephone. By the time it went 5 yards back to the kitchen, something went wrong. But that was my first trip to Wisconsin. Things have gotten better since then.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm going to Milwaukee and places like that now.
Good. Yeah, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with Mylong.
I'd love to go back.
Yeah. Do you
maybe I can do the funeral home next time.
Was it a corporate gig or was it?
Yeah, it was a funny business gig. One of those.
One of those like systems there where they kind of have a thing and send people.
So it was part of a long run of like 40 different shows, and we did Egg Harbor, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, we were just talking to Dusty yesterday. Didn't he bring up Egg Harbor?
I think he did.
Yeah. He wasn't a fan of Egg Harbor.
Might have been the least fun I've ever seen him have on stage.
Yeah, he was
fun to watch.
Is that the place he said that he got out of there before everyone else got out of there?
He got off stage and he goes, "Meet me at the car. We're going right now." I watched Dusty. He got to the part of his set where he normally would do his merch pitch, and I watched him. He picked up his T-shirt and he looked at it and he goes, "Nah." That was great.
That's awesome. So did he? So you guys just walk out the door, grab the rest of the merch, and then head for it? Because you were staying like a ways away, weren't you?
We were. It was at a resort where they didn't get us a room. So I don't even think we had a hotel that night. So we had to drive like another 4 hours after that show. So he's
God.
like, "I'm not hanging around here for this crowd that hated me. Let's just hit the
he
road,
said,
dude."
you know what? Sunk cost. Leave the merch. Yeah, just leave it.
I don't even feel like boxing it up.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
It'll end up going to the Goodwill.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
It's a write-off at this point. That's cool. So you got any dates coming up in Milwaukee, by the way?
I am going to be in Milwaukee November 13th on my birthday.
No, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
It's the most Midwest thing you've ever fucking done. You wish someone a happy birthday
7 months in advance.
Yeah.
Well, in case I miss it.
Yeah, I appreciate
Well,
that.
I don't want you to go without a happy birthday on your birthday.
Thanks,
so I
man.
might as well just do it right now.
You ever not tell people your birthday and just see how many people actually know it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah,
You don't have it on your Facebook or anything like
I
that?
probably do.
Yeah.
But I haven't logged into my Facebook in a long time, like my
Mhm.
personal one.
God, you probably have so many birthday messages on there. Just happy birthday, exclamation point.
But I don't know
Yeah,
if you're
go
like
look
me.
at
If
those.
you take it off of there, you'll be shocked how few people know when your birthday is.
Is that
I got
a
a
good
text
thing?
from my mom and my wife said happy birthday. That was it.
Really?
Which I kind of like. I'm not a huge birthday guy. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm fine with that.
I'm with you because how much of your birthday do you want to spend replying to texts?
It's like you got to go to work.
Yeah.
Answering all
every
those
few hours.
people you barely know. That's why you just take the birthday off. And then it's only people you actually love will reach out to you.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
There's also the people who will text you twice a year, once on Thanksgiving, once on Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving, exclamation point, or Merry Christmas. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I get like two people in my life will do that twice a year.
Those are usually the people that still have like a signature at the end of the text. You ever see those?
And they're probably a realtor.
Yeah, exactly. My dentist will text me, happy Thanksgiving.
It is nice that dentists do that, though. It is,
Yeah, you got to go in for a checkup. You got to get reminded. But don't you think, this will sound bad, don't you think birthdays are for women?
Yeah, they're definitely.
Okay.
They're for moms specifically because they should be the only ones being wished a happy birthday. They did all the birthday, you know.
Yeah.
You just went on a little slip and slide, you know.
Birthdays are a great way for women to keep score, right? Who put up an Instagram story wishing me a happy birthday? You know, who reached out, wanted to go for brunch, you know, all that stuff. Then they can keep the mental checklist in their head of who's keeping up with them?
You got to do a story, tag them, and then you got to share all of them. Yeah, it's a whole performative thing now.
Correct.
When did that start? Like, when did we start like doing like I see people do like a story of their friend with like 5 different pictures. Like, how do you find those in your phone, first of all? And then second of all, you're going through the effort to make a whole Instagram story collage. And then you got to think of all the friends you don't do it for.
Exactly. But I think that's what the gift is the effort.
Oh,
right?
really?
It's such a nice gesture.
Yeah.
To go, I went out of my way to type out this meaningless thing. Happy birthday.
It is also very funny. Like the caption will say, be like, the strongest woman I know. And then the next friend has a birthday and they're like, the strongest woman I know. And it's like the girl is just like a teacher at a middle school, you know, and just like never has any trials
That's
or
so
tribulations in their
That's
life.
your go-to example of a weak woman.
I would say that
a middle school teacher.
no, you clearly haven't been to a middle school, dude. It's a war zone in there.
Yeah,
it's
you're
a
right.
freaking war zone.
A bad example.
These kids
I'm more
are
so meant that she just doesn't have anything bad really going on in her life.
the entire school situation.
It's like the woman posts that, and then she's just a nurse at a NICU.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch some flack for that. That's fine.
That's all right.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
I get
you
what
own
you're
it
saying.
now.
I
at
get
this
what you're
point.
saying. They
Well,
write
but
it
then,
like
then you go, oh, she's just a stay-at-home mom, and then you have all the people coming
Sure.
at you like, that's a job.
You're saying they're writing about her like she was in Fallujah or something.
like she
But-
fought in a war.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It was really progressive what you said after further review. After further review, Miles' sexist stance has
actually
been overturned.
Much more pro-military than anti-woman.
So, yeah.
Thank
I
you.
think.
It's just people aren't thinking
You
about it.
were
the
a
right way.
marketing guy, weren't you?
I can spin something around. I can spin things.
Oh, man. That's good. So, what else is going on?
Not a whole lot, man. I had a baby. I got a 6-month-old baby at home.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
It's fun. The in-laws are here helping out. In-laws are great.
Did they?
My
did
mom will come spend a week. Now they're here for a week. Just you just want to put the kid somewhere. That's the value of it.
I'm not following. What do you mean?
Because I want to do stuff, and you're like, I love my child, but I just want to put her somewhere for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That was not great how it worked. I just want to stick her in a corner somewhere.
I just want to leave her in the car when I go in places.
Oh, boy.
But
I'll
like,
crack a window.
Miles is trying to one up his phrase before, just throw a bunch of mud on this interview so none of it'll stick.
Yeah.
Good tactic.
but my wife and I, like last night, my wife and I were both out at the same time. That just hasn't happened in forever because it's had to be one or the other would.
Yeah.
would
I got a 9 or almost 10-month-old, so I'm in the same stage that you're in.
Wow.
So yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's like there's a sweet spot though where it's like right away. Yes, they like can't do anything, but you can just like lay them there and they don't move, so you can go do other stuff.
Yeah.
Where as soon as they start crawling around, you're like you're constantly thinking about what they're doing.
Even early on, they can just fall asleep on your chest or
Correct,
whatever.
yep.
Now she can't do. I gotta do stuff with her. I
Were,
gotta
were you a,
jingle a chain or something.
were you a skin-to-skin contact dad?
Yeah, to the
early
point where
on?
it made people uncomfortable. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The doctor was like, Aaron, you don't have to be shirtless during the C-section.
So
I walked in the room like Bert Kreischer. Just they were like, whoa. Yo, they emphasize skin to skin
well,
in
so
the hospital.
I was telling my dad about this, and he's a boomer, so that didn't exist back then.
I don't even know it myself. I got nothing.
Yeah, so basically, I was like, "Yeah, Dad. Like, apparently they do skin to skin contact, whatever." And he's like, "Kind of like that's just dumb as fuck. That doesn't make any
So
sense."
they've learned, it's pretty recent, but they've learned there's all these benefits to literally just putting the baby skin against your skin.
Okay.
Not with the shirt in between or anything, but just skin to skin contact.
It's like a connection between and all of that.
So immediately after birth, they're like, put that baby on the mother's skin and just like, so the first thing they do when they come out is just skin to skin
Wow.
contact. There's like immediate actual health benefits to it.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
And so I was explaining this to my dad, and I was like, Dad, I didn't get it. Like, should we try it now?
we got
Pop that top off, Dad.
We got a lot of catching up to do.
And that made him pretty uncomfortable. So,
well, isn't it wild just raising a kid now? Like the differences between how you were raised. We're probably around the same age. What are you, 30s?
32, yeah.
Yeah. We're the same age. So, like, I was raised, I slept on my stomach in the crib.
Mm-hmm.
They threw all kinds of crap in there, stuffed animals. I had a
Blankets,
on. And now they're
Balloon.
like absolutely nothing in the crib, and the baby has to be on its back.
Because
So-
it's a suffocation situation.
Yeah, because kids kept dying. So they're like, all right, we got to switch something up.
Yeah.
So now you got to sleep on your back. But just the fact that as a child, I slept on my stomach.
Yeah.
That's how my mom would just lay me
Hey,
down. On
we're
my
survivors. You know, we made it through. We're the lucky ones.
That's why I'm as strong as I am now, I think.
Yeah.
Because I had a teddy bear in the crib with me.
Hey, you're the strongest guy I
Thank
know.
you, dude.
I'm gonna put that on my Instagram story after this.
Nah, I'm just a teacher.
That is true.
You know what's funny is my mom's a middle school teacher. She was, no. She's retired now, and she would jump around different grade levels. But she taught me algebra 1 in middle school. My dad was the high school principal. My mom was my middle school math teacher. I'm one of 4 kids. There was a year where all 6 of us got ready for school. We all got in the car and went to the same place. And then we all went home after. Isn't that crazy? It was only a year because at a certain point, kids were in high school or whatever. But yeah, dude. So there are a lot of teachers in my family, and I love trashing them. So
So that was about the worst thing I could say.
No, I loved it. I get it. My mom doesn't work hard. Just kidding. My mom worked very hard. Yeah.
What do you think parenting though is going to be like in like 20 more years? If this is how far we've come from like.
Well, luckily we'll be kind of done with it by then.
You
I'll
hope
just be
so, right?
starting probably, so I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, they'll probably make you have to sleep. You have to suspend the baby by its ankles.
Yeah.
And that's how it sleeps.
Mm-hmm. Vampire
prevent-
style.
Yeah, to prevent scoliosis or something.
Mm-hmm. There'll be a study that comes out.
You ever do one of those where you hang those machines where you hang from your feet?
I haven't, but I know what you're talking about.
Doesn't it look awesome?
It does.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
No, but I want to so bad, but there's a weight limit on a lot of them.
This is the second podcast in a row where weight limits came up because I used to be 60 pounds heavier than I am now.
All right.
So, I was last podcast. It said Charlie he doesn't have the struggle of having to look at weight limits on
I know,
stuff.
there's stuff you can't do.
Correct.
You couldn't have gone skydiving.
And it.
We
Yeah,
did talk about skydiving.
You'd have to pay $100 extra. That's crazy dude.
for the extra parachute.
Yeah.
It's like buying a 5XL shirt. It costs twice as much, you know?
You were a 5XL?
No.
Oh my God. Dude. 5. How do you not fix things at 4? And I've been up to a 4. I'm not trying to knock people that are at
The
4.
one thing about being overweight is like you're on an elevator and like it makes a weird noise and then everyone's looking at you, you know?
Yeah, like you were the guy who brought it over the limit.
Exactly.
Then you start doing the math and you're like, okay, this has a 3,500 pound weight capacity. I mean, I'm not the only guy to blame here.
Yeah, so you're 10% of that.
Farts too, you get blamed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. And it is you most of the time. You know what I mean? I get it.
It is.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Miles?
Should we take some callers?
Let's do
Let's do it. Charlie,
What's up, Miles?
I don't know about you, but I graduated high school.
Oh no, I did that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. You had a graduation party?
Yeah, actually, I did. It was really nice. My band played.
You had a band?
Yeah, I had a band. Pretty good. Called Your Project. YORE, Music of Your.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that means yesterday. Like music. We were a cover band, mostly Grateful Dead covers.
That's
A
sweet.
few old folk tunes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know about your dad, but my dad had a lot of work to do to get ready for that grad party.
I don't know if my dad did a whole lot.
He had to clean the garage. He had to put a tarp up in the garage to hide all of our shit so he could put the tables in the garage.
Oh,
for all
yeah.
that with the
Now that you
boards
mention it, yeah.
And it's a stressful time for parents. So if you're a parent out there preparing for a graduation party and you get all frazzled and you're worried about people coming over and you happen to end up in a car accident because you're distracted.
Oh, the frazzled accident. Yeah.
The
frazzident.
The frazzident.
Frazzident, yeah.
If you end up in a frazzident, you got to call Nicolay Law. They're going to help you out. They're going to make sure that the insurance companies are staying in line. And then you can enjoy the graduation party with the peace of mind that you called Nicolay.
I'd like to give a peace of mind to you, Miles, but I won't. I'll call Nicolay instead.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let the insurance companies settle this one. Actually, no, I'll let him settle it with the insurance companies.
So, guys, give Nicolay a call.
Hello.
Hi, is this James?
That's right. What's up, guys?
Not much. You got the Bellied Up podcast here with Charlie and special guest comedian Aaron Weber on the line as well. How's it going, man?
Oh, hell yeah. It's going great.
So word on the street is you want to run for a little governorship, huh?
That's right. You guys are talking to the future governor of Oklahoma.
All right. I love it.
Spoken like a true politician.
Yeah.
That's right.
Speak it into existence.
I can't wait to tell you guys a whole bunch of promises and then not follow through on any of them.
There you go.
You have step one in the bag. I like where this is
I can hear the bolo tie on you now.
Yeah, well, hey, actually, that's funny. I don't know how to tie a tie, so I only wear bolo ties.
I know. I can hear it.
Well, in your ad campaigns, make sure you don't wear a tie and have your sleeve rolled up so people know you get to work.
Just below the elbow.
That's right. That's right.
So can I ask you, James, what's the elevator pitch? Let's say I'm a voter in Oklahoma. I'm literally on an elevator with you. You've got 10 seconds to tell me what your campaign's about. What are we saying?
Hey, man, you know that pothole in the road that you hit on the way here that probably threw out your alignment?
Yeah.
Let's get that puppy fixed.
Well, who's going to pay for it?
You are, good sir. Ding! All right. Have a good day. See you at the polls.
I respect the honesty. I also love the idea that the governor is handling potholes. I mean, yeah,
I'm
dude.
a man of the people.
That's right. We're going to dig in and handle these things at a local level. Let's get the governor in to fix the pothole.
I like that he's kind of just running his campaign off of mild inconveniences that he has personally.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That's actually a genius. You get out there, start fixing those potholes right now and make that like your campaign thing. Like I'm what's your name again?
James,
what's your last name?
Deviney.
James Deviney.
Oh,
wow.
That's going to be an uphill battle in Oklahoma with a name like that, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of letters. Right?
You're going to have to distance yourself from your Italian roots, I think.
Yeah, for sure. You know, right now the current governor's only got 5 letters in his last name. So
Easy to spell.
we don't have the best education system over here right now.
Well, that's one of the things they're going to work on, right? Now, let me ask you this, James. Right. I think a lot of people are frustrated with the state of American politics right now. People say it's too negative, right? We talk down to each other. We don't try to find common ground. Is that the kind of campaign you're going to run? Are you going to run a lot of negative ads, negative messages against your opponents?
No, I'm not that kind of guy. You know, I don't really like to be hateful. I'm actually very polite most of the time, unless I don't like somebody. But then it's not, you know, I'm not rude. I kind of, you know how to do that politician thing where maybe you're telling somebody to go to hell, but they kind of think they're going to enjoy the trip. Hell's actually quite nice this time of year, you know?
Compared to Oklahoma, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I love this. Now, are you worried about, I think a lot of good people are afraid to get into politics because they know all of a sudden people are digging through your closet. They're trying to find skeletons, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Have you prepared yourself for this kind of vicious attack from other politicians?
Well, now this is actually a very real concern I have because, and I'll tell you, my wife is actually more concerned about it than I am because she is not an American citizen. So she's from Germany and she could be a German spy. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't think she's a spy.
But this is smart. Get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would try to firm up a stance on this before things get rolling.
Yeah.
So, you know,
As a marketing guy, how would you firm
just
this
my
up
advice.
for him?
I would go decide definitively whether your wife is a German spy. That's probably step number one. But
well, she says she's not a spy, but that's exactly what a spy would say.
That is true.
This
That
could
is
be
true.
part of the master plan. I don't know.
Well, they say keep your enemies close. Or your friends close and your enemies closer.
I'd maybe not use the term master plan about your German wife.
No, I don't. I don't think she's a spy. I don't.
That's good.
You know, I don't know what the press is going to say. You know?
Right.
Especially after this phone call, they might be like, you know, James DeVitty's wife is a German spy.
Always driving around in a Volkswagen. We know what that means. So
He gives the weirdest high fives.
So James, what aside for the potholes, what's another element to your campaign platform here?
Well, yeah. So like I said, you know, I said it in my voicemail. So I'm a road builder. So roads are very, very important to me. That's definitely a firm stance on the old campaign. I work in the asphalt business. So, you know, we've got a lot of guys that are in shape and doing things, you know, not necessarily healthy, but, you know, in shape.
They have a shape.
They're in a shape.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's so hot out there, you know, you kind of get unfatted real quick whenever you're on an asphalt crew.
Right.
So, you know, we're going to make the state a little healthier. There's a lot of people driving around. Yeah. We got to
Mohawk.
We're pretty far behind on that. You know, there's a lot of people that drive trucks, but it's not because they need a truck necessarily to work. It's just that's the only thing that won't bottom out. Going to Walmart.
And that's causing all the potholes right there.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're just an asphalt guy that wants to make change around here. It's like you're not actually in politics. You work on the tarmac.
Yeah. We're working on the hot stuff. You know, I am. I would say. I mean, I'm involved on some levels politically. You know, I do. Kind of go to some of those events and stuff where those people are around and those kinds of meetings and stuff.
Sounds like it.
Well connected. Yeah.
An asphalt man with a dream.
He's like, I had to go to city council meeting once to fight my parking ticket, and he's like, I'm involved in politics.
Yeah, no. Actually, I went to lunch with a congressman the other day.
Wow.
So it was interesting. Yeah.
So you're building alliances already. Let me ask you this: have you thought about what's your team going to look like? Do you have a transition team in place? Have you already talked to other friends, other asphalt guys? Maybe bring in, you know, a concrete mixer to run, you know, the economy, things like that.
The cabinet. What's your cabinet going to look like?
Yeah. Well, you know, it might be tough to get a concrete guy in there. You know, concrete guys and asphalt guys don't always get along. So,
You know, a cabinet guy though, Finnish carpenter, that could be good.
Well, actually, so I have a friend.
So for my cabinet, I just have cabinet guys.
I got an Amish guy to do all the woodwork.
Well, it's funny you say that. One of my friends owns a cabinet company.
There you go.
Look at that.
So, and she's Asian, so it's an Asian woman who runs a cabinet company, and I already told her, you're my DEI pick.
Okay.
There you go.
I love it.
Good. I mean, what like aside for the roads though, I'm just trying to suss out a few more things that's going wrong with Oklahoma right now in your mind.
Yeah, well, you know, as I mentioned, education is not exactly on par. You know, not necessarily that teachers are doing a bad job. It's just
look at them walking the line already.
Yeah, the teachers union's been doing good work, but
blame it on the kids. They can't vote, you know?
Well, it's not the teachers are doing a bad job. It's just they're basically paid the wages of an indentured servant.
right.
So you know, maybe we ought to help them out. Maybe raise that pay a little bit. Maybe attract a little bit of talent in some areas.
Right. So cut the pay of the firefighters and the policemen. Give it to the teachers. I like
No,
that.
I'm just saying that. We got to look. I don't know.
Where does Oklahoma rank?
Things that we can work on.
Where does Oklahoma rank in education? I'm from Alabama. We hover around 49, 50.
Well, I think you and I are fighting for that same spot.
Oh, how about that? All right, little competition
little
there.
toilet bowl between the two.
But this sounds like this whole campaign is rooted in a deep and abiding love of your home state, Oklahoma. Talk a little bit about tell me the love story that you have for the state of Oklahoma and get me excited about it.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Oklahoma, and it's a great place. It really is. It's a well-kept secret that's kind of been getting out lately.
Okay.
I have heard that. Yeah, I have heard. I have heard Oklahoma.
I heard whispers of that actually.
There's been some murmurs on r/Oklahoma.
Yeah, so all the everybody left Oklahoma during the Dust Bowl in the 20s and went to California.
Right.
And now I think due to current political states there, they're all moving back.
Yeah, that's your whole campaign. Come on home.
Come home.
Come
Oklahoma.
home.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Oklahoma.
our current
Come
Come
on.
home.
current governor made that's right. Oklahoma.
Trying to get the Beverly Hillbillies back, Come on back.
Yeah. So they're all coming back, and it's been a little interesting there, but yeah, it's a great place. It's you can actually afford to live here, which is awesome. Buy some houses and that kind of stuff, and live a decent life without having to make a dumb amount of money. So affordable.
I love that.
Great.
And you don't have the arrogance that a Dallas or a Houston or an Austin has, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I respect that.
You guys got a big feud with Texas, though, don't you?
Yeah. It's I don't know that Texas has a feud with Oklahoma so much as Oklahoma has a feud with Texas.
Yeah.
People from Oklahoma really hate Texas, and people from Texas, I don't even think know that there are any other states.
Yeah, that's for sure. I love that. Well, I'm getting fired up about this campaign, man. And I know, you've never heard of me. I'm just a lowly comedian out here in Nashville, Tennessee. But if you need someone to get a super PAC started, anything like that, I'm happy to chip in and serve your campaign in any way that I can. So this has been great. Thank you.
See, you already have an offer to send in money from out of state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's touch base. I'll send you my Venmo.
The whole campaign's
that's
financed through Cash App. This is not good. Yeah.
Yeah, Cash App and failed crypto. What
there
NFTs.
you go.
Yeah. But that's what we need is some comedians on the campaign.
All right.
Because I think all these politicians are taking things too serious. I mean, Trump's got Kid Rock. And I think that's a good choice politically. I think Kid Rock's a great political influencer,
thought leader. Yeah,
thought leader. Our Lord and Savior, Bobby, Kid Rock. So, we need some comedians on our side. I think it's I don't know. Kid Rock's all right, but I'd rather make people laugh.
I think actually it's kind of onto something because I do feel like comedians see the world clearer than everyone else.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to make fun of everything. So then you look at everything how it should be looked at.
Yeah.
So, I'm on board. I like that you don't talk like a politician. You don't think like one. I get things figured out with your spy wife.
Yeah.
And then I think we're ready to let this campaign. What's the timetable here? Is there an election coming up in Oklahoma?
Well, there is one coming up next year. I'm probably like 20, 25, 30 years out, so it's a long-term play.
I was ready to get the grassroots going, dude. I was getting a street team together over here.
Well, first I have to become independently wealthy because I think anymore to run for governor, you've got to have at least like $10 million to make that campaign work.
You got to be T. Boone Pickens' grandson or something. Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm not. I went to Oklahoma State. I've been to Boone Pickens Stadium.
There you go.
Don't have any relationship to that family otherwise.
Well, it's a good start. What's your slogan going to be?
I think that's a good question. I guess I haven't quite figured that part out.
Come Oklahoma.
Come on.
I mean,
Oklahoma.
It was going to be something lame like, for the people or something like that.
How about we the people?
There you go. We the people. Kicking asphalt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, lean into that. I think you should just run this year and see what happens. Because you'll get headlines being the youngest one. And
I think in Tennessee, I don't know what the exact rules are in Oklahoma, but in Tennessee, to get on the ballot, all you need is 1,000 signatures.
Oh,
I think we can drum up 1,000 signatures here in Oklahoma, and we could have that done by nightfall.
Yeah, I'll send you 4 just from me.
There you go.
Let's get this going.
Yeah. I'll send you guys a mail-in deal, and then I'll send 4 mail-in deals, and if I could get 1,000 back, that'd be great.
We'll make that happen.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you calling in today, man. We're excited for your political journey you're embarking on. We'll see you in 30 years at the top.
Good luck paving that red dirt road.
Yeah.
Like that.
Red dirt road.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to pave the way type of slogan, I think.
Pave the way.
Yeah.
Paving that red dirt.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
We'll find it. We got 30 years.
Yeah, we got 30 years to workshop this. And so I've got 30 years to become independently wealthy and workshop this.
It's time to put Oklahoma in the HOV lane.
It's time to teach Oklahomans where we are on the map.
Okay. It's a little clumsy, the wording, but I like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can work.
They had the high schools had state testing today, and I'm a little concerned about what
Yeah. Well, those numbers are going to play into this election,
That's right.
This was great.
Yeah, we'll look out for this, okay? Do kind of get to the bottom of the stuff with your wife, though. That's going to come up to bite you in the ass, all right?
So when she gets home from work tonight, should I just, have a lie detector test, waiting for it?
Interrogator, yeah.
And one of them, it's all 9 or... How do you say
no?
Yes?
That's how you say no.
Okay.
9.
What's yes in German?
I think it's just ja.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't have that answer that quick.
Yeah.
It starts to get suspicious.
Well, right.
You need to fumble with it a little
Well,
bit.
it's inspiring how well you've embraced your wife's heritage. You don't know how to say yes or no in her language.
Hey, I know how to say butter, please.
There you go. Matters, right? There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate calling in. Have a good one.
Yeah.
You're the man. Good luck, buddy.
Too.
That guy was great.
Yeah, I'll vote for him.
He was funny.
Would you actually vote for him, Charlie?
Yeah, in Oklahoma, sure.
Do you have any plans to move to Oklahoma?
No,
God,
I
no.
just want to mail in one from Wisconsin.
You might, though. Never say never,
Yeah, I guess you could live anywhere. I've been to Oklahoma before,
I never have.
Yeah.
I can't believe they have an NBA team in Oklahoma.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Think
They pulled
about
that
that.
off.
Iowa doesn't even have one, Iowa doesn't have shit.
Oklahoma's way bigger than Iowa, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, space-wise.
I bet by a factor of 3 in population.
Really?
Oh, that's my guess based on nothing.
Iowa's got Cedar Rapids, though. And Dubuque. Davenport.
Cedar Falls.
Des Moines.
Cedar Rapids, the city. I thought you meant like a water park. You're talking about the town of Cedar.
They got Six Flags.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That sounds like me trying to pitch North Dakota.
Yeah.
We have interpretive centers.
Right.
Interpret that how you want. Continental Divide is in North Dakota.
That's big time.
Yeah.
I drove across. I saw the sign.
Yeah.
I was just out there in Fargo.
Yeah, that's where I live at.
Fargo and Sioux Falls.
Mm-hmm. It's a good trek.
Different state, but
Did you make it to East Fargo at all?
What is East Fargo? I think I was just in the middle.
Moorhead.
Moorhead. It's just a bad joke because there's no East Fargo.
Oh, because it's small.
No, it's right next to Minnesota. It's a geography joke.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Not a lot of people get it.
I don't look up on that part of the map that often.
Yeah, it's kind of keep it in the middle.
What'd you think of Fargo when you were there?
Great people. I had what's the food that everybody tells you to get? I had so I was at some diner in Fargo.
Kroll's Diner?
I can't remember what it was. It didn't feel like, it wasn't like I looked up the place to be. It was just the diner.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there and the server goes, "Oh man, you gotta try. It's the signature food of Fargo.
Nefla soup?
Sour cream and raisin pie."
Sour cream.
You never heard of it?
Raisin
You heard of
pie.
that?
She was like, we cannot keep sour cream and raisin pie
I've never
on the shelf. We can't keep it.
Really?
And then she went back to the kitchen. She came back. She goes, I'm about to make your year. I found a piece of sour cream and raisin pie back there, and we ate it, and it was all right. But she made it sound like you haven't been to Fargo unless you've had the sour cream and raisin pie.
I've
but you've
never
even
even
heard
heard
of
of that.
this. Well, what's your food? What's your thing?
Oh, you know,
Pizza?
there's a so the diner I brought up. Yeah, New York style pizza.
Domino's.
Yeah.
It's this place. Yeah.
I mean, if you're asking about food in Fargo, you're asking the wrong question.
That's true.
you
You're
know?
there for the wrong reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's way better places to go if you're looking for food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do a lot of lefse around the holidays. You know what lefse is?
No, what's that?
Basically, just flattened potatoes that kind of looks like a tortilla.
Norwegian stuff.
It's like it's like a tortilla but with potatoes.
Okay.
Not a
And-
potato pancake, though.
No, not like a crepe.
Okay.
It's like this whole process that takes a long
And
time
it's
to
good.
do.
You eat it once a
Yeah,
week?
so you put butter on it,
Okay.
and then I usually put some sugar in there as well. It's pretty good.
That
Sweet.
does sound good.
That sounds
I'm
good.
hungry for some lefse right now. Fargo is a huge money laundering place, too.
For whom?
I read it on the internet once. It's like the Cayman Islands and North Dakota. There's a lot of shell companies that they put there.
Just because it's hard to get out there?
I don't
to
know.
investigate this
I don't
stuff?
know what it is. I think you guys have some laws that are
Favorable.
favorable to shell companies somehow. I mean, someone can double check that with the Google machine, but or not. I mean,
It is
whatever.
interesting. A lot of cities in the Midwest are a mob run. People don't like to talk about it,
Yeah,
but a lot of them out there, northern Indiana, Illinois, and yeah,
I even think Iowa's got some mob members as well.
yeah, I'm sure.
yeah. I mean, we in Wisconsin, all the gangsters went on vacation in northern Wisconsin. Al Capone.
Really?
Yeah, and they still have their hideouts out there. You know.
Wow. That's
John Dillinger.
okay.
Bugs Moran. They would all just head up to Wisconsin. They had tunnel systems to run their booze up there. A lot of bars and homes have tunnels underneath them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
from the gangsters. So
I like how after the fact now we're like, oh, that's so cool. But it's like you're like what these guys have done to society.
Oh yeah, they're horrible
Yeah,
people.
maybe we
but-
takes a while. Takes a while to like embrace.
Yeah,
Look, I ate at Genghis Khan Grill yesterday.
Yeah.
I can separate
the man from the food.
the criminal from the food.
you can appreciate a pad thai.
That's
you
right.
know? Yeah.
Killed more people on the planet than anybody else ever.
I think it's like 1 out of every 6 people has his DNA.
Yeah, because he was a big.
He would pillage.
He would pillage. Yeah, not a thing you want to think about, but you know, he did populate a lot of the deal, and now we have grills named after. I mean, at what point are people going to start making grills after other bad people?
Yeah, there you go. Pol Pot.
Yeah. Fill in the blank there. That's a Mad Lib. That's for you guys to figure out, so you get in trouble.
No muffins.
All right, boys, we got a voicemail on deck here. Here we go.
So, my name's Aries. I'm 11, and I'm dating this girl. But I'm dating this other girl,
Ooh.
and they actually met each other. And they started talking about me, and then she said we're gonna have a long talk. But I'm kind of scared now. But I have to go to sleep, so.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God,
Wow.
that's the best voicemail we've ever gotten.
That's incredible. 11 years old.
11 years old.
Dating a girl, dating another girl. They met.
In class? In the same class?
Must be a different school.
It must be. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And now she said we got to have a long talk. He just got the Snapchat from her saying we need to have a long talk, and this is where he turned.
It's so interesting that these 11-year-olds are able to. I wasn't texting people at 11.
No.
I would have just had to show up at school and have a long talk.
No, you first would have got a note in your locker.
That's
that you
true.
needed to
We
talk.
need to talk at see at kickball, something like
Yeah.
that. Wow, 11 years old. The kid flew too close to the sun.
Yep. That's an unfortunate. At 11 years old, you got to be playing, the field a little bit. You can't be out there like committing yourself. You're 11. It's never gonna work. Why are you bringing sand to the seashore? You're in school, dude. Just enjoy it.
What's the earliest couple that you know of, like the earliest they started dating? I know a few that like started dating in like middle school and now they're married.
The guy who works for me did that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this kid's not far off from finding his wife. One of these two women
could be his wife.
Will bear his children.
Yeah.
That's kind of beautiful when you think about it.
It really is.
And this will be part of the story he tells his grandkids.
And it's nice they're getting it out of the way right away.
Right. In 4th grade, I cheated on your mom. And now it's kind of a sweet story. By the time the other guy's running for governor, this will all have been smoothed over.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't believe that we got 11-year-olds listening to us. I'm kind of rethinking some things now.
Where would you go at 11 to like hang out? I'm just imagining like an 11-year-old date. Where do you go?
Trampoline
Were y'all
park.
Big mall? Trampoline park.
I didn't.
Okay.
Now they would do that. They got trampoline parks.
Yeah, I didn't know if I'd heard of that as a kid. That's
No, we
that's
didn't
a
have them
new
growing
thing.
That's a
up.
new
Yeah,
deal.
That's a
right
post
there.
9/11 thing.
I feel
I mean, unrelated to 9/11, but post 9/11.
There was a bunch of murmurs about like who did 9/11, and so to distract us, they invented trampoline parks.
It's all a smokescreen. I know that.
false flags and trampolines.
But were you big mall people? Was like the mall the move?
I worked at the mall. That was about it. But that wasn't until I was like 15.
Okay.
At 11 years old, I think I was out on my bike.
Yeah. 100%, just around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then my mom would stick her head out, just yell my name, and I'd come running between things for dinner,
Depending on the tone,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let her call again. See if this one's an important deal. Then if dad starts calling, then you run your ass home. That's how that goes. But yeah, 11 years old. No, just messing around on, there's this one, me and my buddy, we would go find the used cigarettes outside the church and go take them to the woods, smoke them,
Just the butts.
Just the little bit of nicotine in there still,
Yeah.
He stole his dad's Winston lighter and we had to put that thing to use.
Wow.
So that was 11 for me. But
Good times.
yeah.
Yeah, 11 probably around the neighborhood, and then like as I got a little older, we just hang out at the Dairy Queen.
The DQ. What a spot.
Yeah.
We were doing this. This kid's in a love triangle and having real problems with it, and he sounded scared there at the end.
It did sound
So these
terrified.
kids are growing up faster, man. And
But it's also something beautiful about a kid's first long talk with a girl. There's just something so pure about that.
yeah,
He's about to learn so much. About how the world works.
God, to be a fly on the wall for that conversation, it would be probably put me in jail. Actually, you don't want to be.
Hey, what
Why are you in the closet in this kid's bedroom?
Who's that guy behind the skee ball machine? But I think my advice, dude, man to man, I think you've been caught. I think you own up to it. And I think you move on. I mean, you're 11. By the time you're 12, things are going to look different.
Mm-hmm.
The world's going to look different. You'll be a different man.
You will.
And I know you seem scared and things are overwhelming right now. I can promise you there will be a time in your life when you reflect back on what you're going through now and you'll laugh.
Or he could go the other route and just start gaslighting both of the girls. Isn't that funny thing? Like, there's 11-year-olds out there that are just gonna be the worst gaslighters when they get older. And
I wasn't talking to her. I
don't even know who she is. Yeah.
That's a fake account.
But I think you're going to have to pick one. Even to do that, you got to pick one.
Yeah.
Right? So flip a coin.
And the truth will set you free.
That's right.
Truth will set you free.
God bless America.
Amen.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming on the podcast.
This was great,
awesome.
dude.
Super fun.
Thank you, guys. Thank y'all for having me, man. Y'all enjoy your time in Nashville, and let me know when you're back.
Yeah, for sure. And
Sounds great.
where can people get tickets to come see you on the road?
AaronWeberComedy.com is my MySpace page. Check it out. It is a MySpace page. Check it out. I got all my dates and everything on there. I have a special out on YouTube. Nate Bargatze produced it. It's on his YouTube channel.
Let's go.
It's called Signature Dish. It's 30 minutes. It's easy. Put it on while you mow the lawn or whatever. And thank you guys for having me. This was great.
Dude, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Well, guys, thanks for tuning into another episode of the Bellied Up Podcast.
Tip your bartender.
bartender,
There
and
you
we'll
go.
see you in the next one.
Okay, hope you guys have a good one. Goodbye now. Toodaloo.